Hi, it's Lonnie. Welcome to Grace Blossoms for You. I'm just threading my needle because I want to make some fabric altered paper clips. So today I'm going to use the 2-inch. If I had a 3-inch, I might use that, but I can make it work with the 2-inch. The 1-inch might be too small unless you have a very narrow something that you want to make it with. I have a specific idea in mind, and if you are looking for templates, there's a whole bunch online that you can get for free. I got this sheet of dresses. I printed it in black and white because I just wanted to trace them. This is from Emily at Sweetly Scrapped, and her website is sweetlyscrapped.blogspot.com. Okay, so there's that one. I like that one because of the size. And then I've used some other ones, and here is what I like to use normally. This is from Dragana at Sasebo, and I will link her below because she has amazing freebies and she offers them all the time, and they're on her website. And yeah, so I'll put that. She also has a YouTube channel which I love to watch, and so I will link her below. So what I've done, I just took a few of my favorites, and then I actually altered this one as I was making it. And I have them in various stages here, so I thought maybe we could work on some of them. And I drew this tie by myself, so it's all right, it'll work. I'm making it for the young man's journal who's graduating this year, and I just thought it would at least remind him that he had to wear a suit at some point in his life. And so let's see, the one I've completely finished is this one. And I really like it because I used lace for like a trim around the neckline. And then I used another part of the lace for just the bottom of the shirt. And this material was given to me in Happy Mail, so I was thrilled to be able to use that because I didn't have any red material. So how about that? I thought it was perfect. And so I used that dress for this one. And again, I used lace for a little bit of trim. And I have to put a backing on this one yet. But you see what I did here? I folded the fabric like a tag just to get it onto the paper clip. Otherwise, these would have been too big. So let's see what else. These ones I have glued temporarily down with my Pritt stick. That works. And so I have a few left to finish here. This one I have sewn. I didn't embellish it with anything yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but there you can see the sewing on the back side. I'm not even sure what this stitch is called, but it works really nicely. Here's another one that I finished stitching, and I put some material on there like for a belt, and I just sewed that down. So I think that one's ready to go. So then what I have to do next, let's see, if I start from the beginning, it would be, let's work on the tie. So I put the template on the fabric and I traced it, and then I cut it out. So then I took the shape that I wanted to put on the paper clip and I paste it onto there, and then I sew it. So this is stuck right now with glue, and I'm not sure how long this piece needs to be. If I put it on the paper clip. I just want it to fold over a little bit, so probably about there. And then I will put another piece on the back later after I've sewn it. So I have a pre-threaded needle, and this fabric is really loving to fray, so I'm going to have to be kind of careful when I do this. So I'm just going to put my thread in from the back, and then I'll just bring you up just a little bit, or bring this up. So after I put the initial poke in the thread, I just go and make tiny little stitches. It almost looks like a running stitch, but it doesn't. The end result is not a running stitch. The end result is that it makes the thread go across, hopefully to keep it from fraying a little. I didn't think that I would need to. The other material I used wasn't this bad at fraying, so I didn't really consider that this one might, or I could have used a different material. But alright, so I've gone on the outside, and now I will go into the tag, or into the tie. I don't know if you can see that it goes, the thread goes across. Anyways, this stitch I learned from a lady that does a YouTube channel. She does all sorts of slow stitching, and her channel name is K3N, and it stands for Catherine. So she does a lot of slow stitching. Sorry if I'm in the shadow here. So I'm just gonna sew around this, and these take a little bit of time, but I think they're well worth it, especially if you like to do some slow stitching. These are kind of, I would say, minimal investment in time and materials, because they're small projects, and so they're not, you know, they may be a little fiddly, but you can make them as fancy or plain as you like. Anyway, so I hope you're doing well, and that you can join me in this, because it's always fun to craft with others. And two, if you have not checked out my Ko-fi page, there are some free templates on there. They may have to be resized a little bit if you are making them for this project, just because they're a little bit on the larger side. Also, they're not clothing templates. They're just other fun stuff, but you wouldn't have to do this necessarily with just clothing. So, and in fact, you wouldn't have to sew this project at all if you just wanted to glue the fabric down. If you had some fabric tack, you could totally sew, go and do this with glue. You wouldn't have to sew it at all. It's just that I happen to like sewing, and I wanted to do it like this. So I'm gonna finish sewing this all the way around, and I will fast forward that, so I will see you when I'm done. I forgot to mention that I'm just using normal thread. not embroidery thread or anything. And I'm still sewing this, but I think I'm going to have to redo it with different material because it is still fraying. And I mean, if you're going for a grungy look, it'll be fine. So I'll decide afterwards if I'm actually going to use it or if I'll just redo it. Because every time I poke the needle in, I see that it's having a little bit of a fit here. Okay, so that looks a little rough, but I think it still looks like a tie. I like it. I don't know if I'll use it, but I still like it. So I don't know. Maybe it'll go into my ideas book. Who knows? All right, so I'm going to just close this off or finish this or tie this off. That's it. And I'm sorry if you can hear the people next door running up and down their stairs. Must be time for school kids to be on their way for the bus. All right, so I'm just gonna cut that. So you can put the back on after you put it on the paper clip if you like. That's what I did just to cover up the part where I went around it. So I think I will put this on the paper clip right now, and I just feed it through the bottom. Oh, look at that. This one's small enough that I don't have to fold it. But if I did have to fold it, I would go in here and just kind of tack it down on the corners to make it look like a tag shape, and then I would go in there like so and glue that down. But like I said, this one is slender enough that I don't have to make the tag shape. But that was my workaround for the other ones. And so for this one, I think I just glued it. Let me check. Yeah, I just glued it, and then this piece here actually needs to be sewn down. I haven't sewn it down yet. But for this one, I think I'm just gonna do like a whip stitch around. So I will put this, I'll glue this down here as well. Like so. Now if you just used fabric tack, you wouldn't have to do any sewing at all because you would have no stitches to cover up. But too, I wanted mine to be a little heavier. This fabric that I used is very flimsy, and so I thought it could probably stand with some backing. All right, so there's that one. And then I'll probably just show you how I will whip stitch this one to finish it off. Have to change thread before too long. Let me know in the comments if you like these sewing videos, because I tend to go between sewing and paper, and I haven't really heard if anybody likes one over the other, so let me know. Whoops. That came right out of the needle because I wasn't holding on to it. And that is frayed. Well, if I'm going to go to all that trouble, I may as well just grab fresh thread. I think I'll start over here. Now I could just do a running stitch. That would be fine too. In fact, I might do that. So basically just in and out all along the border. Sorry, I didn't take a contrasting thread. There's so many sewing tutorials. This isn't really one. I just wanted to show you what I was doing. Got pretty excited when I saw that I could, pretend to be a fashion designer for a little while. So yeah, this doesn't have to be perfect. It's just fun if you enjoy playing with material and such. I do tend to poke myself with the needle from time to time, but still I enjoy all the things. I like the threads, I like the material, I like scraps. Alright, so again, I'm just gonna finish this and I will fast forward that so you don't have to sit here. It'll take me about, 5 minutes to do the rest. Okay, so maybe you can see that I'm done all the way around now. And I'll just poke it back to the back. And just kind of hide it in there. Tie it off. Like so. So that one is completely done. And then if I had a page would just slip it in behind there like so. Of course, it'd be better if it wasn't a white page, but you get the idea. Here's a coffee dyed page. Looks a little better. Anyways, so that's what we're doing, and that's what I've done. And I will continue to work on this, but you don't need to see all of it. Maybe what I'll do is post a picture in my community tab once they're all done. But just for an overview, so you grab some fabric and then you trace your template, and if you want you can glue it all if you have a good glue for fabric, or you can sew them down and just have some fun. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be fancy, just has to be fun. And so that's the idea of this. I think it's a lot of fun, and I'll probably make some more. So that's after I finish these. But once I finish these, I will post a picture of the finished ones. They'll all look similar to that one because I'm gonna back all of them yet. So anyways, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.